to say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? Once again, we will extend to each and every one of you our deep appreciation in allowing this transmission to occur in this particular manner and on this particular day. Once again, each and every time your civilization allows this communication to occur in this way, it affords our civilization an opportunity to experience expanded reality by experiencing the unique perspectives that are demonstrated by each and every one of you. So we thank you for this gift of expansion and this gift of sharing. We would like to begin this transmission, this communication, this day of your time, with the following idea that we would like to call the resonance of the land. Now that there are greater and greater opportunities for acceleration in your lives, greater and greater opportunities for expansion at this time of change on your planet, now that your collective, mass conscious reality is beginning to allow there to be more momentum in the direction of the reality you prefer. In other words, more opportunity to choose and manifest the individual personal realities that each and every one of you say you prefer. Now that this is more available to each and every one of you because of the inertia, because of the momentum of the mass consensus reality, you must now understand that, to some degree, as we have said before, there are places on your planet, spots, locations, that are also going to increase in their frequency, in their vibration, and going to tune their frequency to specific levels that are representative of being more conductive and more conducive by being in those areas to allowing your energy to merge with the energy of the location, your resonance frequency to merge and harmonize with the resonant frequency now in the location that is stepping up. And by putting yourself in the location that magnetizes you, that you are most strongly attracted to, you can then, by being there, amplify your ability to manifest what it is you prefer. You can accelerate your ability by taking advantage of the accelerated energy in any given spot that you are magnetically attracted to. This is now, more importantly than ever, the time for each and every one of you to allow yourselves to know that as part of the picture of what you call your ideal reality, your ideal life, that the location must be included. As we have talked about from time to time, location is not really a place in which you exist. Location is a part of the equation of who and what you are, who and what an object is. It's part of the variable, the equation, the vibrational frequency equation of an object, person, place, or thing in that sense. Location is not really separate from who and what you are at any given moment, because space and time are really your projections, your illusions. Space and time actually simply exists within your consciousness, and you project it in a sense, appearing around yourself and make it seem as if you existed in a location. But location is actually within you, not you within it. So, location is an important part of the equation of what you deem yourself to be, of what you identify and define yourself to be. So if you are not in a location that is conducive to your energy, or conversely, if you are in a location that is specifically not conducive to your preference, to your energy, to who you know yourself to be, you are going to, in some senses, create a countermanding frequency, a countermanding resonance. It is more important than ever to understand that location is a part of the definition of who you are. And if you find yourself being attracted to a particular place on your planet, there is a reason for it. By allowing yourself to flow with that attraction, by aligning with that place, and not talking yourself out of being there, you will then give yourself an opportunity to see how much farther, how much faster you can go by compounding and amplifying and magnifying all the frequencies on your planet and in your reality that are representative of the frequency of your preference. To remain out of that place that represents your highest joy, your highest energy, your greatest creativity, your strongest attraction, to keep yourself away from that is in some senses a denial of a part of who and what you are. Now, of course, again, as with everything that contains your highest excitement and in acting in that direction, sometimes, just as things do, just as situations do, places will attract you to begin with, but then in that sense may lose their attraction. Remember that you always have to act on your highest excitement without any expectation. You always must allow yourself to move in the direction of your highest joy, but without the expectation that it must come to some specific fruition. Because sometimes a place, a circumstance, will attract you like no other, only to get you moving. Not because you're supposed to remain there or continue to do that thing, but only to get you moving. Because sometimes so many of you have been trained to fragment your consciousness in such a way that you don't allow yourself to really know what it is that in some senses might be best for you. And so you will in effect trick yourself by putting a lot of that excitement energy in a certain direction, on a certain thing, making it very specific, just so it will lure you, magnetize you in that direction, not because that is the thing you need to wind up doing for the rest of your life, but only because that is the direction in which you need to move to put you in the right place and time, perhaps for something else that will then come along. Very often it is perhaps difficult for you to tell the difference at first, but the point is that you don't have to know the difference. As long as you are following your highest excitement at any given moment, no matter what it is that contains it, you can rest assured that if you enter it and act on it without expectation, then you will be in the proper state of mind to receive whatever else might come along that will be representative of a change in the direction of your excitement when and if that should occur. The idea, therefore, now more than ever, even including the idea of place, is to at least to the best of your ability, when some place, like something or some situation, might attract you more strongly than any other, allow yourself at least the benefit, the opportunity to explore, taking some action in the direction of going there, however that may pan out in your reality, however that may be making itself available to you, without the assumption that you have to necessarily stay there. And simply by doing the best you can to move in the direction of your excitement, no matter in what form it may come, you will then see, if you hold on to the idea of zero expectation, that it will be a flow and you will move. And things and circumstances and opportunities will arrange themselves to make it easy for you, to create it to be the path of least resistance for you, to show you how your life can become an explosion of synchronicity, when and where you may least expect it, that your life can become a continuous series of surprises, and that in that momentum, you will find the stability and the security and the happiness and the safety that you actually require, rather than in remaining, rather than in refusing to move, rather than in being, shall we say, stubborn about the idea of your reality as it beckons to you. Allow yourself to understand that true security is motion, is change. Otherwise, it becomes static and stagnant. And in this day and age on your planet, all things are, if nothing else, about change. It is the spin of the dice, as you say, in your world. It is the opportunity to see where things may fall. But the only way you're really going to find out what it is that you are all about is to move into the unknown, embrace the unknown, and accept that you actually exist in that unknown, and place plays a part just like anything else. So allow yourself to be magnetized. Allow yourself to explore the idea of what place on your planet has attracted you or may come up to attract you without assumption, without expectation. And don't get in your way. Don't put conditions on yourself. I can't move there because. I can't explore this because. Allow yourself to see what you can do about it. You may be surprised, if you are simply willing to be open, how many actions you can take in that direction. And if you do it without expectation, you won't have to put these conditions upon yourself as to what is supposed to happen and not supposed to happen before you believe you have the ability to do things that you may have always had the ability to do. If you would just get out of your own way and rearrange your own definitions to see that you are quite a bit more capable of creating the reality you prefer than you may have thought you were. That is all we suggest, that you give it a chance, that you give yourself a chance to recognize place as a part of the equation of who it is you define yourself to be, rather than simply an arbitrary place in which to do things and live your life. It is you. Place is you. Just like any part of reality is you, because you are the creator. You are the reflection of the infinite. And each and every one of you, as a piece of the infinite, is nevertheless the whole, expressing itself and experiencing itself as a part of the whole. That's the holographic definition. What also can make this perhaps easier for you is to remember that, holographically speaking, everything and everywhere and every when is actually simply here and now. So even when you find yourself attracted to go someplace else other than where you may be, that someplace else is still fundamentally here. And in that sense, you're not really going anywhere. You're allowing place to move through you, rather than you really moving through time and space. It's all here, it's all now. So do not be afraid to follow that attraction, because all you're doing is going to another here and now. You're not really going that far. And besides, from our perspective, any place on your planet is, as you say, a hop, skip, and a jump away. So, we thank you for allowing us to remind you of these ideas, to share them with you, to reflect them to you. And again, we also remind you that the choice is up to you. We are not here to live your lives, but only to suggest and reflect what can work for you if you will be willing to discover more and more every day in every way who and what you actually are.